Look, I fixed topper dodge. Last couple times I drove it, I left a big spot of coolant on the ground. There's coolant seeping out of the water pump, but I drove it yesterday, parked it, and there ain't nothing leaking, so I don't know what's going on with it. My objective is to clean this up, stick a battery in it and see what I can get to function, and then take it over to Deal and Don's car, boat, and motorcycle emporium, see if I can get some money out of it. It's kind of an interesting bike, but we'll get to that. Well, here's where I'm at right now. The tires are both flat. Well, they're not flat, they just don't have air in them. And the suspension is an air suspension. I'm not quite sure how to get that pumped up. I've got some switches here. As if, oh, I thought those were switches. No, alright, cool. We're gonna squirt some air in there and get the suspension lifted up so it's not saggy. Get some air in the tires to start with. And then we're gonna give it a bath, and I'm gonna put a battery in it and see what happens when I put the battery in it. This one says front. See what happens. Ooh, look at there. Don't want to do too much. We'll blow the other fork seal. I should check the pressure, I guess. Normally forks only need 20 pounds. I probably got 40 in it now. Let's see what happens on the back. I'm gonna get an air gauge. They made it pretty easy, so that's cool. I don't have any in it. 29. That's not bad. 36. That's about right. On my GL, I would run a little bit more than that. I'd run 50 to 60 on the rear. Considering what I'm doing though, that front was just really saggy. So, I'm trying to sell it, so I want to make the systems sit where they're supposed to. I'm not even going to check the pressure on this because I don't think there's any air in it. $31. I'm gonna leave it there. They did a really cool thing, and they put a bent valve on it, but they aimed it this way, and they did it because of the rotor there. However, this is the low side. If they had put it at least kind of aimed the other way, it'd be a little easier to get to. See if she'll take some air. Flat that tire is. Yeah, no wonder it rolled so hard yesterday trying to get up on that trailer. There were 3 of us pushing it. $51, yeah. Okay, we'll leave it there. Alright, we've already made improvements on this thing. The tires have air and the suspension has air. You notice how it's not sitting flat? It's lifted up. That's because the suspension has air in it. And the tires have air in it. I'm going to hook a battery up first and see what I can get going on with that battery before I wash it. Well, oh, it is hooked up to something. gotta pull the brace off too. This piece gotta come off. My go-to 6-point deep well. I have a lot of those. They are my all-time favorite. I use those over anything else, more than anything else. Got that off. We're gonna have to stretch her out. Get creative. There we go. We got creative on it. There it's tight. We got dash lights. We got some lights. Come on. She rolls over. I wonder if we shoot a little starting fluid in there, a little go juice, see if it'll fire. Let's try that. See. It runs. And I bet put a little fuel in it. I think the tank's probably dry. My fuel light's on. It's got to be empty. It's not a bad running bike right there. Yeah, let's go get some fuel for it. I'm pretty sure it's out. We'll get some fuel and see if it'll run on its own. And then we'll wash it and we'll take it over to Deal and Don's. I got some fuel in it. You can see I got almost a half a tank. I only put like maybe 2 gallons in it. It's cranking over, but it's not firing. I think that it might have a bad fuel pump because when you turn the key on, you should hear ee, and I'm not hearing that. It kind of wants to, but it's not. But if I do this, it runs on starting fluid. So I'm thinking that the fuel pump is bad, is what I'm thinking. I checked the fuses, there's nothing in there specifically for a fuel pump. And there might be, maybe I should pull some of these side covers and look and see if maybe there's some wiring that's loose before I get too far. Well, there's a wire that's off. Don't know what that hooks to. Anyways, so we're making progress, definitely sits better, and we definitely know that it turns over at this point, so we're just going to keep moving on. I'm thinking the fuel pump's bad. I can't find a fuse for it. It's not clicking on, and it's not running, so I found cheapies on eBay for 25 bucks, and if I go to Dennis Kirk, they're 70, but it's a brand, it's an All Balls brand. Don't know if I could find him something in between, and with eBay you just don't know what you're gonna get. So I do believe that if this doesn't sell, I will be able to put a fuel pump on it, and it'll be something new for me to add to my repertoire. Oh yeah, that's why we do that. A mousy nest. I'm not touching that stuff either. Gross. I don't know what it is about a motorcycle airbox that mice just love. It is so gross. Yeah, it needs a new air filter. This one's got where the mouse chewed. We got some holes, some cracks. So not today, but if I end up working on it, that will be something I do. So for me to get it running right now, I need a fuel pump, I believe. The front brake master is full of crud, but I think if I clean it out and put fresh fluid in and then bleed the brakes, I think the front brakes will work. And the rear master looked good. So we've adjusted the air suspension, we've cleaned out the air box, we've proved that it does turn over and will start, and then we also think that a fuel pump is bad. You see, I couldn't find a fuse anywhere on that, so the mice were into it. Maybe there was a wire or something that got chewed, but I don't see anything, so I don't think that's probably what it is, but you never know. So before I order a fuel pump, I'm going to definitely check everything out. I'll probably pull the fuel pump off, see if I can bench check it before I do anything. So all week I was like, I'm going to work on the XS Cafe this weekend. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And then Friday comes, and I drive by a yard sale and I pick this thing up, and my whole Saturday changed. I'm trying to get this to a state that I'm happy with, and I'm going to run it over to Deal and Don's car, boat, and motorcycle emporium and storage facility. The Homer Road sales lot, as I call it. I'll run it over there, and he's a pretty good salesman. Oh, this thing's giving up the ghost. Wonderful. My favorite ratchet. The ratcheties are not working so well on it. I got this swivel head ratchet from great Sears eons ago, and they've had to replace it for me several times, but it's always a struggle for them to find the one that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna try to put that back on. Yeah, that swivel head ratchet, every time I go in there, they're like, I don't know, I can't find it. It must be an oddball thing, but I love it. Yeah, I don't know which one of these is right and which one's wrong. They're two different sizes. Yeah, neither one of them is wanting to secure on there. Front brakes, I'm going to clean this master out. Let's take a quick look at it and see what's... It is moving, so it's not completely froze up and gummed up like I have several of. Yeah, gross. Yeah, it's pretty gross. So we're going to clean that out, put some fresh fluid in it, and bleed the brakes, flush them really good, try to get new fluid in there, and I think this will be good. So I will have front brakes. I'm pretty sure the rears work. This thing has a center stand, but I'm not man enough to put it up on the center stand. This is probably, the thing probably weighs as much as my Harley. Oh, I should pull that one too. The clutch. I should pull the, it's got hydraulic clutch. Let's see what that looks like. This is equally as disgusting, so we may have to address that as well. .4 for this one. What's that one take? I want .4 in both of them. Alright, let's clean this out. Yeah, because that's really gross. So we'll clean that one out. This one needs cleaned out. I get all the crusties out of it. I'll clean this cover up just a little bit more. Clean it up just a little bit more. It should be good on this end. And then I'll work on bleeding if I need to. Alright, here's what we got going on now. An overview. Aired the tires up, aired the suspension up. Got it to roll over, got it to fire on starting fluid. But it appears as if the fuel pump's not working. And I think that's right down in there. It's not attached to anything, so maybe they were having problems with it and just gave up on it. I don't know. I went to do the front brakes. I cleaned the master all out and put some fluid in there and tried to bleed them, and nothing, it's not pushing anything. So either the master's screwed up or something, but it's not pushing fluid, so there's that. So overall, not a terrible day, not a terrible find with all of the stuff that I did. It's a pretty solid bike. It actually, when it rolled over pretty good. So I think it'll be a good bike. If I don't sell it over there, then it's definitely coming back, and I'll do a revival on it. Put a fuel pump on it, see if I can't get that working, do the front brakes on it, see if I can't get those working, and then try to sell it. So because I have no desire to ride this bike. It's as big and heavy as my Harley, and it's not nearly as cool. So this is phase one. It is at the Homer Road sales lot, and we got her parked out by the road. I'm giving it a week out here. Anybody who's interested in this area will know about it within a couple days. So we'll give it a week here. If it don't sell, we'll bring it back to the shop and we will revive it, get all the systems working that need to be working. It does have a rear brake, the front brake's not working, and the fuel pump's not working. So that's where it's going to be. That's where it's going to be for today. Anyways, I dropped the bike off over at the Homer Road sales lot, and I'm just waiting for somebody to buy it. I'm also going to throw up a listing on Marketplace, see if anybody hits on it there. Just trying to do a quick flip on it. I've spent about 2 hours on it this morning, checking some stuff out. Not really fixing anything, but I know more about it now. So in the future, I can work on it if I need to. I'm going to give it a week over there, and then I'm going to pull it back, and it's going to sit for a while because I really, really need to focus on this. That was what I was supposed to be working on today, and I ended up working on that. Not really by choice, but I guess I could have made that choice, but I didn't. So anyways, I've been having fun with it. It is fun doing that kind of stuff, and it may end up being a revival for me where I go through, I get the front brakes working, I get the fuel pump working, and I get it running, and I can ride it and drive it, and it does everything it's supposed to do. Of course, the price goes up when that happens, but if you're interested in it, drop me a line. I mean, I'm in mid-Michigan, so you come pick it up, and maybe we can make a deal. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so you can see what else is going on with the Voyager and what else is going on with everything else that I work on around here. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Facebook at 650Cycle. And if you're out riding somewhere, ride safe.